Okay, all right, let's go ahead and close this poll. And let me share these results. And it looks like for the most part, we're pretty even. That's really exciting. It's nice to see that many of you are already committed to sustainable transportation modes. So you're already in the right mindset to become a school ambassador. So that's very exciting. So let's go ahead and get started with the rest of this presentation. Go ahead and hide this poll and go to the next slide. So just a quick little agenda about what we'll talk about today. First up, we're going to talk about, of course, the main focus of the Transportation Ambassador Award, how to specifically become a school ambassador, and of course, any next steps that you can take to become a school ambassador. And we'll wrap up with a Q&A if you have any questions. All right, first up. So first up, we're going to talk a little bit about goDCgo and school services. So for those that are unaware, goDCgo is an initiative of the District Department of Transportation. We are a leading resource for transportation information and options. If you ever go to our website, goDCgo.com, you'll see that we are a hub of sustainable transportation information. And the reason behind that is that our goal is to decrease traffic congestion, improve air quality, and create a better quality of life in the DC area. The best way that we're going to be able to do that is by encouraging sustainable transportation. And of course, one of the best ways to do that is by providing information around that and making it an easier choice to choose. goDCgo School Services obviously falls under goDCgo, and we are specifically here to help schools, and that is all types of schools. So whether you're a public school, a private school, or a charter school, we are here to help you not only implement and enhance commuter benefit programs for your staff, but also encourage students and families to use sustainable transportation. So now that we've given a background on who goDCgo is and goDCgo School Services specifically, let's talk more in depth about the Transportation Ambassador Program. So the Transportation Ambassadors Program is our way of recognizing DC organizations, and that now includes schools, for their commitment to sustainable transportation. There's many reasons to become a school ambassador, so I just highlighted a few here on the screen. One, the work of promoting sustainable transportation actually already aligns with the work that your school is doing around transportation. I'm sure you're constantly thinking about how is your school staff going to get to school? How are your students and families getting to school? Right? These are all thoughts that are already happening in your mind pretty regularly. So becoming a school ambassador just really kind of aligns with the work that you're already doing. Another reason to become a school ambassador is that it is a tier level program. It is not all or nothing. So you don't need to check 30 boxes in order to become one. We meet you kind of where you are. So if you have done a couple things, want to do more, we're here for you. Not only to recognize what you've already done, but to help you get to where you want to be as well. Another important point is that it's really easy. It's not, again, because it already aligns with the work that you're doing, and it's a tier level program, so you don't have to check, again, 30 boxes to do it. It ends up being a pretty easy program to become a part of. Another big bonus is that it unlocks new services and perks from goDCgo. So the higher up that you go as an ambassador on the different levels that we have, the more services and perks that you get from goDCgo. So you get more commitment from me, all of that. So let's go ahead and start talking about these levels. So first up, we have the bronze level. So this is our first level, our initiatory level, and you only have to complete one of these strategies for students. So there's actually 5. I was only able to fit about 3 on the screen. But as you see, there's stuff that you're probably already doing, right? Have you expressed interest in offering transit benefits to your staff? Great. Do you provide information to students and families about Kids Road Free? Also great. Also makes you bronze. Do you distribute information about available transit benefits to all new hires and employees? What? You probably are already doing that. So chances are you're a bronze level school already. So let's go ahead and launch a quick poll. And I'm just curious what bronze level activities your school is already doing. I'm going to go ahead and launch the poll. Give you guys another 30 seconds or so to answer that. Okay, excellent. Seeing those results come in, very exciting. Okay. Ooh, love it. This is great. Look at you guys. Can't wait to share these results. Okay, looks about half of you have voted. If we can get that a little bit higher. Okay. Excellent. Wonderful. Give that another 10 seconds or so. Wonderful. All right, let me go ahead and close this poll and share these results. All right, so it looks like 100% of you are sharing information to your family about Kids Ride Free. Check. Bronze level ambassador right there. About 25% of you send information to staff about existing transportation benefits. Very exciting. Another 25% survey staff to learn more about their commute. Wonderful. About 50% of you share info about metro, bus, or biking on your website. Really great to hear. And another 50% of you express an interest in obtaining or expanding your commuter benefits. Wonderful. So look at that. Pretty simple, right? Bronze level ambassadors, I'll be reaching out to you with more information. So no worries there. So let me go ahead and hide this poll. And now we're going to talk about the rest of the levels. So next up is silver. Silver. So as you go up the levels, it does get a little bit harder. Not terribly hard, but just a little bit harder. Put in a little work. As you can see from kind of the description, there is a required strategy for the silver level, and that is that you, in order to be considered a silver level school, you need to designate a school transportation coordinator and share their contact information with goDCgo. So this is just going to be my point of contact, the liaison between goDCgo and the school that I'll be sharing information with, working with them to kind of develop a sustainable transportation plan, all of that. And so it's only a little bit more responsibility, but of course we understand that people at school have many, many responsibilities, are wearing many hats. This will be another hat that we're asking them to wear. So there are perks to being a school transportation coordinator. There are going to be school transportation events. There's going to be a school transportation coordinator award at our ambassador ceremony. There's going to be swag that we're going to be giving you, right? There's going to be all these little benefits that come with being a school transportation coordinator. Because again, we want to make sure we recognize and honor your efforts to really promote sustainable transportation at your school. Another really important one, and again, I haven't listed all the silver level strategies that you can complete. I just listed the top 3 that I thought were most important. There's about 10 or 15, so I'm sure your school probably fits into one of them, but I didn't list all of them here. Just kind of want to give you a taste of what it takes to be a silver level ambassador. Another important one that I wanted to highlight was meeting with the goDCgo school services team and developing a sustainable transportation plan. So this sustainable transportation plan is going to be key in leveling you up to gold and to platinum. In this plan, we're going to discuss what goals you have for your school. Do you want to be more bike friendly, right? Do you want to increase staff use of pre-tax benefits, right? Whatever that may be, we're going to work through those goals there. It only takes about a half hour or so with the schools that I've worked with. And I see that some of you are asking questions on the chat box. Thank you very much for engaging. Sorry, I took a moment there to read them, so lost my train of thought. But yes, so someone asked, what benefits does DCPS provide? And that's an excellent question. DCPS provides pre-tax benefits to staff, so you can take or save the money that you would use for transit pre-tax. So that means you end up saving money and also end up having a higher take-home pay, which is very exciting. And also DCPS staff as DC government employees can get a reduced capital bike share membership. So they get a regular capital bike share membership is usually about $85. With the DC government discount, it ends up being about $25. And schools can also, other schools that are not DCPS can also become corporate members within the capital bike share program and also be able to provide this reduced benefit to their staff. And I'm here to talk about it. If that's something that you're interested in, feel free to get into contact with me. But that's a great question. And again, that's kind of the third point, right? That's one of the things that you could be doing in your school to provide pre-tax transportation benefits for transit or van pool use. But to kind of continue with my sustainable transportation plan, here's where we'll set up our goals, and it'll be really key to leveling you up to gold and platinum, as you'll see on the next slides. I see another question has come through. Let me go ahead and see. Sure. So I see you're very interested in the transportation benefits. So those are the only two that DCPS currently provides. Everything else would have to be something that DCPS would grow into. And so that's obviously something we're working on to see if there's ways that we can expand those. But currently, those are the two main benefits: the pre-tax benefits and the reduced capital bike share membership. Okay. So as I was saying earlier, the sustainable transportation plan is very key. It allows you to level up to gold, because as you can see, there is a required strategy that you have to conduct an annual staff commute survey to track progress of sustainable transportation goals and the plan. Right, so those goals that you created in that sustainable transportation plan back when we were at the silver level are going to help you become a gold level school ambassador, which is very exciting and kind of really helps you track your progress. But the best way that we're going to be able to know, like, hey, I want 2% of my bike, of my staff bike to school right now. I would like that to be 10%. Well, the best way that we're going to be able to track that is by doing an annual staff commute survey and really seeing that growth and seeing what strategies are working that we've implemented and what strategies aren't working that we've implemented, right? And let's make sure that we're creating the best, most robust program for your school. Another way that you can become gold, and again, noting again, there are many more strategies that you can implement at your school to become gold level. There's another 10 probably under gold, but I just, again, have limited space on my screen, so I decided to highlight the top 3 that I felt were most important or easiest for a school to do. Another thing that you can do to become gold level is to provide a free or discounted course for staff on how to learn how to ride a bike. That could also be used more city confidence classes. Additionally, if you provide shuttle service to and from transit station for students, that's another way that you can become a gold level school ambassador. And so these are things that I know that I've seen schools provide, which is why I decided to kind of highlight them, because I know this is something that schools are already kind of doing on their own. And makes sense to recognize that this is a big effort on the school's part, and to recognize them appropriately as a gold level school for taking on those efforts. All right, and then lastly, but definitely not least, we have our platinum level schools. And so to become a platinum level school, there are 2 ways. And again, as you can see, the Sustainable Transportation Plan plays a really key role in helping your school level up to be platinum. As you see, there's 2 ways. There's one way of implementing about 3 or more gold level sustainable transportation strategies and 3 or more silver level strategies helps you get to platinum, right? And that just means you have a really robust program which will really dedicated to becoming a sustainable transportation champion in the district, and that's really exciting. But another way that you can do that is if you achieve the commuter benefit enrollment goal in your sustainable transportation plan and your trip reduction goal on the sustainable transportation plan. So as we kind of fill out that plan, we talk about those things, set those goals, and if you achieve those, bam, you get to be platinum level. So I've talked about the levels kind of in a little abstract way. I wanted to give an example of a school that's become an ambassador recently. This is our most recent ambassador. They are a silver level ambassador. It's Center City PCS. They are located in Ward 4. And I had the pleasure of talking to them earlier this month. And we had a wonderful conversation. And I just wanted to highlight a couple of things that they did to become a silver ambassador. They are sending information to families about kids ride free, providing pre-tax benefits to staff. One fun thing I thought that they did was they provided free bike classes to their students. As you can see, I got this really awesome picture off their Instagram of them teaching their middle schoolers bike skills, which I thought was excellent. Love it, love the safety, love the helmets. And of course, the school has also participated in Back to School Day. And these are just some of the things, again, limited space on my screen, but just some of the things that the school is doing to become a school ambassador or did to become a school ambassador, and I'll be working with them to get them up to gold and then hopefully to platinum one day as well. So how did the school become a school ambassador, and how do you become a school ambassador? Well, it's 3 simple steps. I break them down into 3. Oftentimes they end up being more like 2 steps, but just kind of break down kind of the process. And the first step is you'll meet with goDCgo School Services. And in this meeting, we'll discuss what current measures are in place in your school, right? What is your school currently doing to promote biking, walking, carpooling, and taking transit, both for staff and for students and families. We'll also identify your school transportation coordinator, right? This person is going to be key to helping your school communicate all the information that it needs to around sustainable transportation. So that'll be a very important first step that we'll want to take. Yes, another question about DCPS. DCPS has a cornerstone program where all 2nd graders are taught how to ride a bike. So yes, so the DCPS does still provide that program. But yeah, so that's kind of what will happen in the first step. We'll meet with goDCgo School Services, do these few things. Next step will be to complete the sustainable transportation plan. So you've heard it. Here's a quick little snapshot of what part of it looks like. But completing the sustainable transportation plan consists of really collecting school statistics in one place. And so I choose this word just because I'm going to be asking you a couple questions. How many people are enrolled in pre-tax? Where's your nearest capital bike share station? All of that good stuff. We're going to collect that all in one place. Also, if we do a staff commute survey, which I highly recommend just to kind of give us a baseline of where your staff is, that information will also be included in the sustainable transportation plan as well. We will also develop goals and strategies to increase the use of sustainable transportation at your school. And we'll also plan a timeline for implementing these strategies, right? So we'll figure out what those goals are, what they look like for your school specifically, and then we'll figure out a timeline, right? What are the first steps that you can take, right, in the next year or so? I'm planning on really kind of thinking about it as a back to school, after winter break, and then end of year kind of time frame for when we can start implementing things for the school. And once you have that, you'll receive your designation. We'll see kind of where you are within the process, and then not only do you get this cool badge that you can put on your website and really kind of promote your school as a sustainable transportation champion, but designation also means that you get recognition at our goDCgo Ambassador Award ceremony that we'll hopefully have in person next year. You'll also get a displayable commemorative award. You'll get tons of publicity via social media and press release, and of course, opportunities to be featured in goDCgo promotional pieces. And so another thing that's really important kind of about the designation is as your school is really trying to stand out. I know EdFest is coming up again in December. This is a thing a lot of parents and staff think about when they're choosing where to work or where for their children to attend school is, what benefits, what transportation benefits are available? Well, how is the school kind of working to promote sustainable transportation and make it safe for my child to walk and bike and take transit to school? So really kind of thinking about that and really kind of setting yourself apart from the rest of the schools by becoming a goDCgo school ambassador. So now that I've gone through this and gone through the steps and all of that, I'm curious how many of you are interested in becoming a school ambassador. So I'm going to go ahead and launch a quick poll. And if you could let me know, yes, I'm interested in becoming a school ambassador, or no, I need more information. No worries, I'm glad to follow up with you with all the information that you need to become that. So I'm going to go ahead and give it another 30 seconds or so. Awesome. Great. Wonderful. All right, let me go ahead and close this poll. Looks like most of you have answered. All right, and just quickly share those results. All right, and it looks like we're 50-50, right? Which is pretty understandable. Excited to start working with all of you, getting you the information that you need and getting those 50% that are interested leveled. So what are the next steps that you can take to become a school ambassador? Well, those steps would be to schedule your initial consultation. So if you go to goDCgo.com/school, you'll see this nifty little calendar that's a real-time representation of my personal calendar. And you can go ahead and select a time that works for you to set up a quick consultation. And again, it could just be questions that you have about the program for those 50% that need more information. Again, no pressure on anything. These can be very informative calls. As you can see, they only take about 15 minutes and they could take less. I really try and make sure I jam-pack it with information that you need and really try not to overwhelm you with too much information, but just give you the information that you need. So you go there, goDCgo.com/school. Not only will you find obviously my calendar there as well, as you'll also find the Sustainable Transportation Plan if you want to take a peek and look at it and kind of see what that'll look like, get a head start on it before we kind of have our conversation. That information is on there as well. So I highly recommend doing those two things to kind of get you guys leveled. And of course, there's always the option to upgrade your designation, right? So just because we landed on silver or landed on gold, there's always room. There's always more that you can do for sustainable transportation. So even if you're already leveled, set up a consultation with me. Glad to help you find ways for your school to continue a more robust sustainable transportation program. And with that, I know I answered some questions already, but if anyone has any other questions, I want to make sure I open up the floor to any questions that you guys might have. Also, want to make sure to highlight that my email is down at the bottom of the screen, barbara.moreno@goDCgo.com. If you have any questions, don't feel like setting up a consultation, just want to email me directly. There you go, barbara.moreno@goDCgo.com. All right, and with that, I want to open it up to any questions that you may have. I know I answered a couple of them already, but I'm happy to answer any more. So I'll just go ahead and give you guys a couple minutes. If you guys think of any, go ahead and type them into the question box. And just to recap some of the answers that I gave, one of the things, thank you all for making me aware that the audio wasn't working. I apologize for that issue that happened earlier. But what transportation benefits does DCPS provide? I'll just repeat that answer again. So DCPS provides pre-tax benefits and a reduced capital bike share membership. Those are the core ones that they provide. And then does DCPS still teach all second graders to ride a bike? Yes, they do. They still teach all second graders to ride a bike as part of their Cornerstone program. Then we got another question. What does pre-tax mean? Excellent question. Okay, so pre-tax means that you can take the money that you would use towards transit and take it out before taxes. And so what that means is that you actually end up saving money throughout the year. So a good example is, so I think the average teacher salary is about $64,000 or so. And let's say someone spends about $500 or so on transit getting to and from school for the school year. Those $500 would be taken out before taxes. So it would be the $64,000 minus $500 minus the, and then from that amount, right? So $6,300, $500 would be, oh sorry, $63,500. Then from that dollar amount, they would remove the taxes. So from that, you can actually end up saving about $1,200 on your transit benefits throughout the year. It could be up to $1,200. So it's a really great way to do that. So that's what kind of pre-tax means. It means you take the money out before taxes are taken out. And because of that, you end up saving money, because if you were to pay for transit after taxes, just like kind of on your own, the taxes would end up being higher. And so you'd get more money deducted from your check and have a smaller take-home paycheck. So pre-tax benefits are an excellent way to go if you're interested in doing that. And also one of the services that goDCgo School Services provides is actually helping you if your school is opening or hitting that threshold of 20 employees, goDCgo School Services is here to help you set up commuter benefits and set up those pre-tax benefits at your school. So feel free to reach out if that's your situation as well. Yeah, so in terms of the DCPS employees that use the pre-tax benefits, so that I know it's not too high. I think it's about maybe 4% of DCPS employees use the pre-tax benefits. In terms of how widely it is communicated, it's communicated to new staff, especially. But that's one of the things that we're going to be working with DCPS with, is helping really kind of promote the existing pre-tax benefit that DCPS provides. So we're hoping to really kind of communicate that more frequently to staff. Okay, any other questions? Okay. Oh, excellent question. How often can our designation change throughout the school year? So there is kind of no limit. It really kind of like depends on how quickly your school can kind of achieve those goals that you kind of like set out for yourself. So let's say you start off as a bronze. Now we get you up to silver by the start of the school year. If we can do that commute survey, right, and start implementing some of those other strategies, you could end up being gold by the end of the school year. So there is no limit. It really just kind of depends on how quickly we can kind of cycle through and really implement some of those strategies to help you become a school ambassador. That's an excellent question. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Want to make sure I don't cut out before I answer all the questions. Let me just quickly scroll through the question box, make sure I answered all the questions that were provided. Excellent. It looks like I got through all the questions. Thank you so much for all your wonderful questions. I hope I was able to answer all of them to your liking. And if you have any further questions, think of anything else you want to ask me. Again, my email is here at the bottom, barbara.moreno@goDCgo.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a wonderful time. I hope to start working with all of you and help you become school ambassadors and get you that information that you need so you can become the school ambassador and get you the designation that you want. So thank you again. I look forward to working with you, and I'll just go ahead and close off this webinar. All right, thank you.